Hello happy souls, this is my new project Suzuki Max 100 revamp, and these are all the chapters which I've categorized for this iteration project. And now we are in chapter 12, building this bike. In that we are in part 1 with these things we are going to assemble today. And starting with the powder coated chassis. It cost me around 3000 for just the chassis alone, not the swing arm and other things, just this part alone. And how I made is I took an angle grinder and started with a medium type brush cup tool, and ripped off everything from the chassis unit. And final result was like with bare metals and a chassis unit with no burrs, no rust. Weldings were done, and other things like small mounting was misaligned. It was bent and it was corrected. And after this I gave the part to the powder coating company. Here they were doing like automotive components and some small products. And the basic concept is this bare metal is earthed and made as negative charge, and the powder the paint is in like powder form, which will be charged as positive charge. And some cases if the product is small, they will immerse the product in the powder coating, and it will be charged and it will be sticking around all around the chassis unit. And in some cases they will spray with a spray gun, which will be like charged as positive. And after this they will take the part and keep it in an oven and with 400 to 600 or 700 degrees Celsius, and then it will melt and spread evenly and it will stick around. And this is the final result of the part, you can see. And no like layers will be coming in this system. And then going to the side lock system, here you need two screws, and there is a poke system which will be locking inside the chassis unit. And for this two screws are already available in the lock system. And then moving to the main stand unit, here I think you have already seen the unboxing video in the chapter 11. And in this these are all the parts which comes with the main stand. In this quarter you take a grease and apply evenly, and also to the main stand unit and the bolt assembly and the nut where the thread comes. And after applying insert this quarter inside the main stand. And here I faced a problem with this main stand. The seating, everything was right, and only problem was I couldn't put the spring in its place because the stud was welded at the other end. And this is the one which I faced the problem. And to the take the excess grease and put the grease in the bolt assembly. And this is a old one. Here you can see it is a flat area, this is a flat area. And the welded stud is at the LH side, and for the new one it is in RH side, so I couldn't mount the stand in the chassis. And I thought of using this chassis, and after the final product I planned to cut the stud from the old main stand and plan to weld in the new stand at the other end, so that I can put the spring back. And then plan to go with this procedure. And for this mount the center the stand, and the flatness area should be facing at this one. And because if you place in an inverse position, the stand won't keep the bike in normal condition, it will slip and it may fall. And after putting this put back the nut at the other end. This talking about the nut, it will be like thread lock system inside the nut, so you don't need to worry about putting a lock nut or other thing. And this is the one which I talked about while removing the main stand. This is a bracket we have to put for extension, and this is a stud which is misplaced. I thought like in the initial stage I replaced with the direction, and then I mounted the current position which you are seeing. And this is the air filter unit, and for this I am using the screw which was already in the bike, and one was missing, so I am using here with the 10 mm bolt. And these are all short type bolt. If you are going to replace with a new one, the price may vary depending upon the length. So if you are going to buy a new bolt, plan accordingly, because the price may increase depending upon the length. And wherever necessary, try to use the old one and buy it in a bulk, so that you can reduce the cost of it. And this is a rear mudguard unit. There are two studs like structure protruding the frame. Just give it a snap and it will seat properly. And then coming to the bushes, these bushes were of like a Bajaj brand, I don't know which bike, but all suits this bike. That package I think you have seen in the unboxing video. And here comes with for the LH side box unit, and for the RH side box unit. And when you are use a blunt screwdriver, because if it is sharp, it may uh, damage the rubber sealing, the rubber bushes. And the main concept is the dia of the bush should be lesser than the mounting of the side cover. Then only it will seat properly and gives you a hug to the side box unit. And one more thing, if you are feeling hard, you can use grease, but my advice is not to put grease, because it will be there for a long time. Use soap water, it will vapor the water content and it will seat in the position. And coming to the tail light assembly, and this is the one which I was talking about. This is a duplicate one, and now I will show you the difference between the old one and the new one. If you see this one, and the length of the bolt was different, and the 8 mm bolt, the 10 mm bolt was replaced with 8 mm bolt, and many other things were different. And first you have to unscrew these things, and it came without bulb inside. And first unscrew the unit. I will show you the differences. And inside it is with a normal, not a chrome part, a silver paint, and here it came with a reflection. When I started to mount the entire unit, the length of the bolt was small, so I couldn't mount the tail light assembly. This is the thing which you are seeing. So I took everything from the new tail light assembly and replaced it with a long bolt. And for replacing, you have to take these assemblies one by one. And if you see now, the length is was increased, and inside this rubber part, a stud was there, which you saw in the beginning. And then here comes a washer, because if you crush the rubber, it won't seat properly, so the stud will be coming inside the rubber part. And now we can mount this thing in the tail light unit. And hold these two bolts so that it won't fall at the other end, and put a washer inside it and start tightening the entire taillight assembly. And it may differ, because in previous, the original one, it came with 10 mm nut. Here I was using like 8 mm, and it was from some other bike, and I went to a local market, and I used the bolt nut assembly here. So it may vary depending upon the size, length and availability. You can use whatever you want. Here finally I replaced with the 10 mm nut at the outer side, and then I was keeping the same with the older, the newer things which were in the taillight assembly. I put back the reflectors, and for holding it, it came with two screws, and I forgot to buy the bulb, so as of now I am installing it as it is. and this is a new screws which was seating properly. So I'm taking these two old screws and putting the assembly in the new taillight assembly. If you either see the comparison, the old one came with the rubber to reduce the vibration, and it acts as a sealant. It won't allow the water inside, and there's many advantages in the old original OEM products. And after this, the rear mudguard assembly is mounted with the taillight assembly. So we are installing this in the frame, and for this there are two mountings, two at the rear and two at the front. And for the rear we have done an alteration, and I will show you in the upcoming process. At the front you have to put it with a 10 bolt with a washer at the either sides, and do the same for the other end also. And your bracket will be coming to hold the rear part of the mudguard unit. In with it is connected to the number plate unit. This is the one which I was talking about. Here inside a nut is welded, and at the bottom actually there are four mountings. Four mountings are welded with nuts inside it, and so that you don't need to put a spanner behind it, and you can and you don't want to align it. And this is the one which holds the number plate unit and the indicator unit. And this is now neat and clean. And the only problem you will face is you have to put every bolts in its place, and then you have to tighten it because alignment may vary. So first I am putting the number plate bracket or the indicator bracket, and for this I used a 10 bolt because at the other end 10 nut was welded with a welder nut. And here I'm putting the 10 bolt assembly, and for this I'm using a 14 bolt assembly because the original came with this 14 here. At the other end, at this end, the sari guard unit and the footrest will be coming. And if you see this assembly is entirely done. And now taking the indicator assembly. Here there are two lines, but in this case, some cases two lines will be coming. In this case, the one is like earth, it is negatively grounded, and keep the here there are no poke system, and you have to align it straight with your experience, and do the same with the other end. For locking this you need a 14 spanner. And in the initial with the original OEM, the light was coming around the tail light, and it was protruding outside. So I drilled a hole in the mid of the rear mudguard unit above the bracket of the number plate unit, and routed inside the taillight assembly. After tightening it, I took these two wirings and routed to the taillight wiring system. Here I made a hole with a drilling machine, which you are seeing. And make sure the alignment is right for both the indicators should be facing in same direction. And here this is where the wiring will come, and here one clip was already there to hold the wiring system, and here I took a strip and just strapped the wiring system. You can use the same procedure. And finally the rear mudguard unit. Here I'm using a 8 screw, and in the previous video you might have seen they are using a nut and bolt assembly which was mounted in opposite direction, which are protruding outside, and which looked weird. And I used a black color screw so that it won't differentiate anything, and it was neat and clean. The original came with a rubber mounting. It was too hard because it was too old, so I plan to go with this new type plastic mount for the rear mudguard unit. And that's all for this video, and I see you in another video, that is part 2. Bye.